Welcome everyone to lesson 2 in the Yoga to Reduce Anxiety and Stress series. Go ahead and take a seat in a comfortable position. If you would like to lie down, that's a good option as well. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and lay down myself. Once you're comfortable, feel the part of your body that's touching the mat, the floor. See if you can root down through those areas. And if you're on your sits bones, really root through those protruding bones. Go ahead and close your eyes if you haven't already. And begin to let your breath become a little slower, a little deeper, and a little smoother. See if you can concentrate all of your focus inside, maybe latching on to sensations that the body's feeling right now. Maybe you're experiencing some pain, some chronic issue. Maybe your mind is drawn to an area that is not painful, but maybe uncomfortable. Maybe you're simply feeling the tissues of the body from the inside. Maybe feeling some energy moving through some whooshing sensations, tingling. And let's go ahead and begin a pranayama of using belly breathing to further calm the nervous system and the body. And so what we'll do with our next breath in is draw it deep into the belly. Watch your navel area and abdomen relax as your belly looks like it's filling with air. And then as the breath reverses, feel the tissues of the abdomen tightening. Eventually, the navel comes back down towards the spine. You might tighten up your core a little as you exhale the last little bit of air out. And just keep breathing in this way for a few more moments. Much of releasing stress from our bodies is tied to being in the present, to being mindful. So take a moment to be mindful of the sensations in the body now that you're breathing in this way, using the belly. To work the diaphragm here, letting it stretch and then contract. And then as you're ready, set your belly breathing aside and just let your body naturally breathe for a moment. And then begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe moving slowly at first, or just moving the tips of each appendage, and then moving into the larger joints, the larger sections of bones, and the fingers and the hands. Maybe working your way to your wrists, your ankles. And if you happen to be seated, go ahead and come down to the supine position on the floor, on your back. And we're going to very slowly move into the butterfly pose. So we'll bend up through each knee, each foot comes toward the other as we press our toes and heels together, lining the space, the small though it is, in between the feet up with the middle of the torso, that midline, left to right. Let the knees and legs relax as much as you can. And breathe here. 3 breaths. Now think of keeping your legs and your feet exactly where they are. And let's begin to take our right hand. It's on the floor. Let's begin to just bend our body to the right, letting that right hand lower its place along the side body. And then we'll come back to the center. We'll switch to the opposite side. Left hand moves down. The shoulder moves, the head comes along with, and then we'll bring it back to center. You can kind of slide along the floor or pick your body up and place it down, whichever works best for you. Let's go side to side one more time, and then come back to the middle. Let's let our hands guide our legs to bring our knees back to center. Our feet will come to the floor. And let's bring just the right knee into the chest. Left knee can stay bent, foot can stay on the floor, or you can go ahead and straighten that leg as we stay here breathing in wind relieving pose. You can use a strap if that's helpful to kind of rein this knee in. You can interlace your fingers, laying them on the top of your shin. And just relax your body here. Feel the alignment of your spine behind you, hips, shoulders, and head. And let's release this right leg, this right knee floats away, the foot touches the floor. Now we'll bend up through the left knee and bring that leg on in. Right knee can stay bent, right foot on the floor, or go ahead and straighten that right knee out. Hug the left side. Breathe slowly. Think of stress leaving the body, melting onto the floor through your mat. Let's release this left knee now. Left foot floats down to the floor. We'll straighten the the left leg next to the right. And then we'll inhale our arms up and back for a full body stretch. Let's take a few breaths here. Try to make your body pencil straight. Feet are pressing away from hips, hands pressing away from shoulders. Let's come into Banana Asana. You choose which side comes first and let your hands and feet walk over towards that direction. See how much you can bend your body, keeping the middle where it is, but moving the arms and hands, feet and legs. Stretching the outside of your little moon, crescent moon here. And as you're ready, walk back to the center. Take a breath here. Maybe wiggle or stretch a little more. And then walk hands and feet, arms and legs to the opposite side. Keeping the middle where it is, but making a banana out of the body. Banana shape out of the body. One more breath here, and let's all walk back to center, and we can bring our arms right back down by our sides. Let's go ahead and come up to seated position. If it works for you to bend up through each knee, then roll over onto one side, stacking arms and legs. We'll take our top hand, lengthen that top leg, straighten that top knee, and press ourselves up away from the floor, getting that hand underneath us, walking both hands towards our seat, and then let's sit up nice and tall here. Let's try our seated mountain. Think of being a mountain nestled into the land through the sits bones, crown of the head reaching up to the sky. Arms can be at your sides. Let's begin next with a few sun breaths. So as you're ready, inhale to lift your arms. Such a good stretch. Exhale to lower. Palms are up as we breathe in. And we flip our palms as we breathe out. See if you can take the entire length of the inhale to lift your arms. And the length of the exhale to lower the arms. Next time you're inhaling to lift your hands up, bring the palms together and we'll exhale hands to the heart. Take a breath or two here, sitting up still nice and tall like a mountain. Elbows out to the sides. One hand pressing into the opposite side. Let's take our thumb knuckles now and let's press them into our sternum. Our sternum's that cartilage plate that all the ribs sort of connect into. And so if we're with prayer hands or hands at the heart center, we can easily take these knuckles and place them into the sternum. Just a little bit of pressure there, or against the sternum, not into. A little bit of pressure. You can close the eyes and let's take 3 breaths here. Not in any hurry. Just noticing if our nervous system is able to relax and release any. Okay, let's try another technique where we use the tips of our 4 fingers on each side to press into the sternum. We're going to bend them towards one another and have the nails come together. And we're going to place kind of those, we're going to point our fingers toward us and place them right against the sternum here. And we can breathe. Nice. Now relax your arms down by your side and let's find a seated butterfly to match the butterfly we just did lying down. We could take blocks, place them under our knees, maybe where our thighs meet the floor. See what position helps you feel the most comfortable. And holding on to the legs is often a nice way to keep the back nice and straight, keep that natural S curve in the body, tilting the pelvis slightly forward, opening the chest, rolling the shoulders back. Nice. Now relax the legs. Notice that they might have been tense because we concentrated on these other body parts, right? And we want to be able to release the tension, sort of holding the legs up and let them use gravity to open. Let's now come into a twist from this position. So we'll take one hand, cross it over to the opposite knee. The free hand goes back behind us. Sit up nice and tall. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, we'll twist, using the hand on the knee to just give us a little bit more of a stretch. Be very mindful here not to do too much. It's not about where you are, it's about how you feel. It's not about how you look even, it's about how you feel. Let's now bring our chin to the back shoulder, bring our eyes back behind us. Now we'll bring the eyes back to the center and let's bring the chin to the forward shoulder. Let our eyes go back behind us this direction. Bring our eyes back to center. Bring our chin back to center, and then we'll release everything, letting the arms and torsos come back to the front. Let's lift our knees, maybe straighten our legs. Take a forward fold here if that feels good. Just sort of reaching and sliding forward, lowering the chest, the head, the neck. Engage the core and inhale to lift out of your forward fold. And we're going to come back into a nice seated butterfly, maybe a bound angle if we're holding on to our legs or feet somewhere. And then we'll switch in our twist. We're going to bring opposite hand to the knee on the other side. We'll take the free hand, place it back behind us, sitting up nice and tall on both sits bones. Breathe in. And as we exhale, we'll twist. Maybe bringing our chin to the back shoulder, maybe the eyes back behind us. Breathing here. Let's bring our eyes back to center and let's let the chin move back to center over to the other shoulder. And then back to the shoulder. Behind. Now we'll move our eyes back behind us. And then we'll move our eyes back to center. We'll move our body, our arms back to center. And let's straighten those knees again. Extend the legs out in front of the body. We'll release our arms by our side. And let's inhale a sun breath, lifting the arms up overhead, extending fingertips towards the sky. Exhale to release, fold forward. Let your hands come down first, and then tuck your head. Let your chin draw towards your chest. Round your shoulders. Round your spine. Release over your lower body. Feel the stretch in the hamstring, calf, right behind the knee. Just notice where you're feeling sensations and where you might not be feeling sensations. Let's engage the core and lift our torso up away from our lap here as we draw our hands towards our hips. We'll keep the hands low rather than doing something a little more challenging. Part of releasing stress is a more gentle practice where we can let the breath flow in and out a little more slowly. Let's come now to our knees and our hands in table. Carefully setting our body up so that wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips. Maybe we're on the tops of our feet, maybe our toes are tucked under. Either way is fine. Let's start with some cat-cows here. Sort of rolling or curving the spine, drawing the navel towards the spine, and then arching the back as the navel releases. Inhaling to lift the navel up, we tuck the tailbone and the chin. Exhaling, the navel releases. The body comes head and neck and shoulders to neutral, and then we come into the arch. Tailbone lifts, head lifts only slightly. We'll go back and forth. Let's move with our breath. And then letting the body slow down here. Next time your spine's in neutral, stay there, and we'll extend our left leg back behind us, curling the toes under. Press down through both hands, shift your hips back, and let your heel come closer to the ground. Keep your toes grounded as well, or keep your toes grounded even though your heel's lowering, and then lift up and back. See if you can find a movement that feels good on your feet. Maybe you're stretching the bottom of your feet by coming way up onto your toes. Or sorry, the foot, not your feet. We're just working one of them here. Let's bring our hips back up over the forward knee. And on the next inhale, we can lift our toes from this left foot up off the mat. We'll bring that leg to parallel or anywhere in between. We can shift our right hand and fingers forward, coming into sunbird here. Maybe staying low or inhaling, foot and arm come to parallel. And we can balance here as we breathe. Perhaps you want to take it a bit further. Bring your elbow to your knee. And then extend long again. You can do this movement 2 or 3 times. Exhaling to curl up, inhaling to extend. And as you're ready to release, let's let the hand and knee come down and sink back into a child's pose, walking the knees out wide or keeping them hip distance. Take 3 breaths here. Good. On the next inhale, come back up to table. Walk the knees together if they were wide, and then step the right foot back this time. Extend that leg. Get your balance. Extended cat here. And then on the next inhale, you can lift that back leg. You might keep it low, toes to the floor. You might keep that left hand right underneath or reach it forward. You can inhale to lift, arm and leg. Exhale to lower, connect with the floor, ground yourself. Another option is elbow to knee, exhaling to bring them together, inhaling to extend. Releasing it down into your child's pose as you're ready. Big toes touch, knees can be as close together or as far apart as is comfortable. Let your arms stretch out over your head. Let your forehead gently rest on the floor or perhaps up on a block. Maybe your chest is up on a block to help you feel more supported. Three more breaths here. On your next inhale, let's come back up to our table. We'll curl our toes under. We'll come up into downward facing dog by pressing on the hands, pressing on the tops of the feet, lifting the knees up off the mat, coming into an upside down V. Let's walk the dogs, maybe lifting and lowering each heel, alternating. Maybe keeping feet farther apart or closer together as we lift and lower the heels. Let your next inhale bring your gaze to your hands, and we'll step the left foot forward. We'll eventually lower our hips as soon as we can get that foot forward enough. Let the knee float down, that right knee, and we can keep the right toes curled under or flatten the right foot. We'll stretch into this lunge here by releasing our hips forward and down. This is a good place to use blocks too, letting the body create a little more space between lower and upper, and letting the hips relax and release. Taking a few breaths here. Not in any hurry, not with anything to prove. Releasing our stress here by focusing inward, being mindful of our movements, our thoughts, emotions, and feelings. Let's shift our hips back by pressing through that front foot and the back knee and walking the hands towards the hips as we straighten the left knee, pressing the heel into the floor, toes are lifted, and now we're stretching the back of the leg here. If you want to walk forward and back, kind of feel that the different sensations of bending and straightening the knee. That's fine. If you want to stay with the hamstring stretch, pressing through the heel, that's fine. If you want to stay forward in that lunge. From here, we'll come back up into a down dog. We'll curl under the back toe, press on that foot to lift the back knee. The left foot steps back, even with the right. And we can stretch here in down dog for another moment. Maybe bending the knees, drawing the chest to the thighs. Let your heels release in a neutral, even position. We'll inhale to bring our gaze to our hands. This time we step the right foot forward. We'll scooch in whatever way we need to. Let the left knee float down to the mat. Maybe the left foot stays tucked, or maybe it flattens out. And we can shift the hips forward and down in this low runner's lunge. And when you're ready, you can walk your hands, shift your hips. Keep that heel rooted as you lift the toes and straighten the right knee. Bringing the stretch into the back of the leg. Perhaps a little movement. Maybe you prefer to stay more still. Everyone making their own choices to make yoga your own practice. As you're ready, we'll come back into our down dog, tucking under the left toes this time, lifting that left knee, stepping the right foot back. And from here, we're going to come up to a standing pose. We can do that one of two ways. We're in down dog. We can float the knees down, come up through a high kneel, or we can walk feet to hands or hands to feet and come into a forward fold. Stay here in the forward fold for a few moments. Let's take a few breaths. Really bend those knees. Rest your rest your belly on your thighs, your chest maybe towards the knees on your thighs. Just let the head hang. Take a moment to feel how supported your spine is at the lumbar region with this connection of your belly to your legs. It allows the back to release. And so all the stress that we hold in our backs can release here in this forward fold. Let's inhale, come halfway up, straighten your knees, place your hands on your legs, extend your spine from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Exhale, release deeply again into the forward fold. Inhale, press down through both feet. Start to stand as you reach your arms out and up over your head. Exhale brings the hands to the heart center. Take a moment to press into both feet. Feel the evenness of the front two corners and the back two corners as if your feet were rectangular. Press the toes in, the toe bed or the ball of your foot, the sides of the arches, the heels. And then feel your body getting taller, getting longer here. Let your chin stay parallel to the floor. Nice. All right, from here, let's get into a couple of balance poses. So let's come into tree with our feet hip distance apart. Let's bend one knee forward, kind of coming up onto the toes of that leg. Now reposition the foot on the floor, the standing leg. Take some toe taps to sort of feel how stable you are or aren't. Go to a source like a wall, get a folding chair, place that right by you to hold on to. Let it be on the side opposite of your leg. We'll arc this knee and foot out to open the hip here. We'll bring the foot in, or we can keep it right where it is. Bringing the foot in allows you to connect this heel with the standing leg ankle. You can toe tap here, lifting and lowering your toe, the big toe. If you want, you can bring the sole of your foot to the standing leg, either below the knee or above the knee, not at the knee. And you can also lift your hands. We'll lift them out wide like a T, reaching our fingers side to side, lengthening the bones in the arms. Holding as still as we can, maybe using a spot that we're looking at straight in front of us or on the floor. I do both. Smaller rooms, I tend to look across the room. It depends on what mood you're in, I think. And as you're ready to release, let the arms and legs float down. Get even weight on both feet. Shake the legs out, or maybe pace in place, march in place. And then come back to that mountain shape. Standing tall. Bend the opposite knee, lift the heel. Maybe send the foot forward, do some toe tapping here. Test how your standing leg is feeling today. Then with the foot slightly forward and the knee bent, arc that knee out to the side. Keeping the foot here, bringing it in against the standing leg. Maybe bringing the sole of the foot to that leg, pressing the leg towards the foot and the foot towards the leg to find that balance. Maybe losing it, coming back in, all that's good. Perhaps lifting the arms, reaching wide. Keeping our breathing even here, moving slowly. Releasing on an exhale slowly. Arms release, legs release, and we can come into some counter pose to help us shake out the tension or work out the tension. All right. Let's come wide, walking the feet away from each other into a wide angle pose. Toes and heels stay in alignment front to back. And feel a light or slight stretch inside of each thigh. And we'll inhale, the arms come up overhead. Let's interlace our fingers, even if we have to bend our elbows to get the fingers to interlace. As we exhale, let's tip over. Have that lower arm sort of bring the upper arm up and over. Good. Really open those side ribs. Inhale, press down through the feet to lift the arms and torso back to center. Exhale, brings us to the other side. Good. Let's do that again, side to side. Inhaling to come back up. Exhaling to release. Inhale to come back up. And exhale, releases, opens. Inhale to come back up. Let's release the fingers and we'll let our arms float down to our side. Let's walk the feet in towards one another, heel, toe, heel, toe. Let's find our mountain. Standing up nice and tall. Looks like you have just a little stretch nose right down there on your screen. All right, from here, let's come back down to the mat. Let's find ourselves in supine position with our body released to the floor or back on the ground. And let's straighten our legs. From here, let's bring both knees into the chest. If you would like to bend through the knees, bringing the feet on the floor first, and then each knee in one at a time or both together, that's fine. And we'll hug in the knees with both arms, and then we'll push the knees away with our hands. Bring the feet almost to where they're touching the floor. Then hug the knees in again. Notice your lumbar spine pressing into the mat here. And then release the legs. Bring the hands or palms to the knees, pressing them away from you. Arching the back. Keep drawing the knees in and then away. And then the next time the knees are in, move them out and then open the knees away from each other. Bring the knees back towards one another and then draw them back into the chest. So when we push the knees out, we're going to open and then close the thighs and draw the knees in towards the chest. This time on the next inhale with the knees into the chest, let's lift our feet to the sky and let's stretch the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Pressing through both heels. Feeling length in our legs. Now come into a yoga walk and see if you can press heel to toe, bending and straightening each knee. Really accentuating the different parts of your foot. Slowing this movement down. And then let both knees bend back into the chest. Wrap your arms around your legs and rock from left to right. Next time you're right at the center, let's let our feet float down to the mat. And let's come into some windshield wipers with saguaro or cactus arms. So we'll inhale, our arms come right beside our head, basically, bending the elbows. And then we'll begin our windshield wipers. Next exhale brings both knees to one side. Inhale them back to center. Exhale brings the knees opposite. Inhale back to center. Keep going at your own pace, connecting your breath to this movement. Going as slow as your breath can take you. Feeling every single movement or micro movement in this windshield wipering from side to side. And the next time your knees are up towards the ceiling, let's straighten our legs and we're going to come into a comfortable Shavasana shape from here. Perhaps grabbing a blanket to put underneath the head. Stretching the legs out, letting the toes fan out to the edges. Maybe bending up through the knees. It's really important to be supine if you're comfortable that way, so that you can relax your whole body during this body scan. So continue to lay there. See if you can decide whether you're comfortable or not. Maybe making smaller adjustments. maybe making larger adjustments, finding stillness, maybe using muscle memory if you've had a lot of experience with yoga. Closing down the eyes, letting the lids press gently against one another, top and bottom. And let's wiggle our eyebrows a little bit, relaxing the muscles across the forehead. Let's wiggle our hips a little bit, securing them snug against the mat and floor. And let's open and close the jaw, maybe stretching the lower jaw as far down as you can, opening the mouth, releasing the tension in the process, and then setting the tongue on the lower palate, or perhaps the tip in the little groove on the upper palate. Feel your whole body lying here on the floor. Begin to notice your breath. Maybe you're already focused here and focused on breathing in and out slowly, more deeply, more smoothly. Feeling into your whole body. And now we'll follow parts of the body connecting from one place to another in a body scan. Your job is pretty simple. You're going to lie there, and as I name a body part, you're going to bring your awareness there and just hold it there just for a brief moment before I name another body part, and you move your awareness to that part of the body. Try not to move physically. Try just to use your mind to tune in and focus your attention to one spot. I'm going to begin with the right big toe. So bring your awareness to your right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, top of your foot, the right edge of your foot, the left edge, the arch, the heel, the ankle, the shin, the calf, the kneecap, the right thigh, right side of the hip, right side of the pelvis, right side of the body, the torso, the shoulder, the upper arm, the elbow, the forearm, the wrist, the palm, the back of the palm or hand, the thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger. Now starting on the left side, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, the top of the foot, the left side of the foot, the right side of the foot, the arch, the heel, the ankle, the shin, the calf, the kneecap, left thigh, left side of the hip, left side of the pelvis, left side of the torso, the body, the shoulder, the upper arm, the elbow, the lower arm, the wrist, the palm of the hand, back of the hand, the thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, the throat, the neck, the jaw, your left cheek, your right cheek, your left eye, your right eye, your nose, your forehead, the crown of your head, your whole body lying on the floor. Let the next breath in be a little deeper. And take some time to focus just on the breath moving in and out of the body. There's no agenda. There's no controlling the breath to a certain rhythm or pattern. Just watching the nervous system respond to this deeper state of relaxation. knowing that this connection with our breath, the ability to slow it down, is our number one go-to when we're feeling stressed or anxious. It's the thing we can change right away when there often is either not something we can change or we haven't problem solved how to go about it yet. Letting our nervous system feel the normal state of relaxation in our bodies, moving us away from that flight or fight stress response and into our own ways of naturally healing, with the added benefit of connecting more to ourselves as we stay mindful of the present moment. For this next moment, keep your mind trained on your breath and keep bringing it back if it wanders, when it wanders. And then, as you're ready, gently begin to rock your head from left to right, keeping this movement slow. Coming out of that stillness of deep relaxation. Let's bring our head back to center and we'll scooch over onto one side, stacking arms and hands and legs and feet. We'll take our top hand, press it into the floor on the mat right by us. We'll straighten that top leg and let ourselves come up away from the floor. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll close our class together with a sun breath to our heart center. So as you're ready, we'll inhale our arms up. Exhale brings the hands together and they slowly float down to the heart. We can close our eyes and tuck our chin towards our chest, bowing to the divine within each of us. The light in me honors the light in each of you. On the next inhale, let your chin lift up back to neutral. Flutter open your eyes, release your hands, and thank you all so much for joining me today as we work on keeping our stress and anxiety down to normal levels, or our relaxation response up to normal levels. Take care and see you next time. Be well.